Find nasty bugs is one of the most difficult things that you have to deal while you're making your game. Hola amigos, my name is Casero Juan. I'm working on my game, Nan Gun, demo available on Steam. And sometimes strange things happen when you program. You're sure you set something to the computer, but sometimes the computer does whatever it wants. Sometimes does nothing, sometimes the opposite. It's a madness. But Unreal Engine has many interesting tools to debug and to find those nasty bugs. I will share with you 5 of my best tips to debug and weapons to fight against these bugs. First one, debug points. In your blueprint, in the part you have the problem, just select the node that you think it gives you problems and press F9. Next time you execute your game, when it arrives to that part, the program will stop. And you can continue one step at a time pressing just F10. And you can see the values how are changing in your blueprint, so you can study what's going wrong with them. You can see in this part, and if you hover the mouse over there, you can see the different options that you have to continue your program, the execution of your program. You even can have multiple of these points, so you can see which one stop first, because maybe sometime in your head some parts of the code should be running first and then the other, but it doesn't happen that way. You can delete the debug points just pressing F9 again. It's easy. But in a game where many things are happening at the same time, this is not enough. That's why you need, my beloved, print string. This node allowed you to print something in the screen and in the log text. You can select that. It's really interesting because you can see when you have many enemies, you could print their name, who made what first, or what happening. This is my default method to debug. I just print many variables, but this node does not work alone. I usually use with append node that allows you to have many lines of text to print in one single string. So you can have the name, for example, the HP, some other state that you're having, and you can visual each time you call this node. You can give it the time that's going to appear in the screen, but in case you have missed the message, still you can go to the log windows and see your log and see when it was called and what time, who made it first. This is especially useful when you put it on ticks and prints many messages, and you can just find one time that it made something special. Not the best way, but it could help you. But as you can see, if you print, for example, a vector that it shows the values of the vector, it's not really useful to see it in that way, just numbers or normals or many other things. And there's another tool to do that. Third, debug. Okay, this is weird because we have spheres, box, arrows. You can have many shapes to debug. They will be drawn temporarily on the screen, so you can have a visual information where the vector that you're printed or that you want to know where it's located. Do you want to know the point of collision, where the normal is pointing at? The radius, to see visually the grenade radius of explosion? This is a tool for you. Just call the node and put the position you want it to appear. For example, in places you have doubt that it's pointing at the right point or the right thing. If your game is really fast like mine, you may find difficult to trace this in real time. That's why I add sometimes the node set global dilatation to 0.05, for example, or maybe pause the game, so you can have a better look of what is happening, where is happening the things. In slow motion, it's really easy to find that. But what happens if you don't see it and it's not in your field of view? Maybe it's appearing in your back, or maybe it's not appearing at all. So you need another tool. You can detach the camera from your character, you know that? This is a powerful trick. Just press F8. But this trick only works when you play on viewport mode. Just be careful with that. After that, you can move the camera freely where you want. You can look at your back, look what is happening. If you pause the game or you change the time dilatation, you will have time to see it all in slow motion where the things are happening. So it's better for you to try to find your error that way. Maybe something is not appearing where it should be. Maybe one door is not opening because you're opening a door outside of your field of view, like a secret switch. In this mode you can even select objects and see in the detail panel what is going with them, their position, rotation, any other data that it will be movable. You can see it here in this example. For example, I left my player moving and their position is changing, so maybe this could give you clues what is happening with your program. And fifth, but this is the most difficult because it's a really big thing, console commands. Just go to the log menu and you can use commands there too. My favorite one is stat FPS, that it shows you the FPS of your game, so you can trace if you are having too much things because the FPS will drop, or maybe you have too many objects in one part, and when you change the view it's less objects, so it runs faster. It will help you to mitigate those problems of optimizations. If you have any doubts what else you can write in there, just press help and enter, and we'll show you a web page that show you all the commands that you can write on them. You have a lot. There are many ones that are useful for you, maybe others don't, so it's up to you. I really used that in one part of my game. In this part of the game I have a problem. In this part of the level there were many enemies and many bullets, so it has some slowdowns, but I think it was okay. I exaggerate the enemies. So I tried one thing. I moved the enemies away from the level. I separate now the level in two parts, the enemies and the environment. So it's easy for me to not load the enemies, and I could just run through the level to see if the FPS are stable, and in some part they were not. So I suppose I did something wrong. In this case I duplicate so many assets in the background that they never were seen, but they were taking some computational time, and because they were really detailed in triangles, it has a drop of the FPS. I have to remove it and see what trick can I use to have the environment that I visualize without too much triangle density. This was more easy to see, but as you can see at the beginning I thought it was because of the enemies, and it was not the case. After I remodeled the background, it runs perfectly. There are many other tools to debug things in Unreal, but these are the best for me. Let me know if you have another tooltip that you can share with the community, so everybody could learn about that. If you have a good trick, please write it in the comments and let us know, and share this video with anybody you think it could be useful to them. I hope you liked this video, and I hope this video could help you in your game development journey. This is all for now, amigos. See you in the next video. I am Casero Juan.